The rain poured like a confession that night, raw, relentless, and unending. A boy no older than 17 stood under a flickering streetlight, clutching a torn leather jacket that didn't belong to him. His eyes, a storm of fear and defiance, stared at the line of roaring bikes parked outside a rundown bar at the edge of town. He didn't belong here, but he had no choice, because tonight, he wasn't just a lost boy. He was a son searching for the truth about a man he'd never met. If you're new here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Universe for more emotional and powerful stories that touch your heart and inspire your soul. The hook of pain. Noah had grown up on lies, or maybe half-truths. His mother, Emily, worked double shifts at a diner, always avoiding the same question, who was my father? She would smile through her tears, whisper, "You don't need to know, Noah. Some truths are better left buried." But buried truths have a way of clawing themselves out, especially when they're drenched in blood and regret. The only clue Noah ever had was that jacket. Black leather, worn and creased, with an emblem on the back, the Iron Serpents MC, a biker gang feared across 3 states, known for their lawless loyalty and the violence that trailed behind them like smoke. When his mother passed away after a long illness, Noah's world cracked open. In her final moments, she had whispered something that would change his life forever. "Find Jax. Tell him I forgive him." Then silence. Jax. That name burned in Noah's chest like a brand. He sold his old guitar, packed his mother's photo and the jacket, and began the search that led him here, to the outskirts of a forgotten town, where the Iron Serpents ruled the night. Into the den, the sound of engines rumbled through the air as Noah pushed open the bar door. Cigarette smoke hung thick inside, and the smell of grease, whiskey, and danger wrapped around him like a second skin. The room went silent. The moment he stepped in, eyes full of suspicion and shadow turned toward him. Men with faces like cracked asphalt, tattoos crawling up their necks, leather vests gleaming with years of dust and defiance. A man with silver hair and a scar across his cheek, the unmistakable leader, leaned back in his chair. His name was Rex, known as Reaper to the world outside these walls. He studied Noah for a moment, then chuckled. "You lost, kid? This ain't a playground." Noah swallowed hard but didn't back down. He took a shaky step forward and laid the jacket on the table between them. "I'm looking for Jax." The laughter died. Reaper's smile faded. He looked at the jacket, then at Noah's trembling hands. "Where did you get that?" "It was my father's," Noah said, his voice cracking. "My mother gave it to me before she died." A hush fell over the room, heavy and electric. From the back corner, a man rose slowly. Tall, broad-shouldered, with long dark hair and eyes that carried 1,000 miles of regret. His knuckles were scarred and his steps were heavy. When he spoke, his voice was rough, broken by years of smoke and silence. "What did you just say?" Noah turned to him. "Are you Jax?" The man didn't answer, but the way his eyes widened, the way his hand trembled as he looked at the jacket, it was all the answer Noah needed. A father's shadow outside, the rain had stopped, but thunder still rolled over the hills like the growl of something ancient. Jax and Noah stood under the awning, the neon bar sign flickering above them. "You shouldn't have come here," Jax said quietly. "You don't know what you're walking into." "I just want to know the truth," Noah said. "My mother said your name before she died. She forgave you. But for what?" Jax's jaw tightened. He looked away, exhaling smoke into the night air. "There are things about your mother I can't change, things I regret every damn day." Noah's voice cracked. "Did you love her?" Jax froze. "She was the only thing that ever made me believe I could be something better." The truth hit Noah like a wave. The gang, the violence, the blood. His mother had loved a man caught in a storm of his own making. And now, standing before him, that man looked like someone who had lost everything that ever mattered. The gang's secret, but the Iron Serpents were not just a gang. They were a family, bound by secrets. And one of those secrets had followed Noah here. That night, while Noah and Jax talked outside, Reaper made a call. A deal long buried had come back to haunt them. Years ago, the Serpents had betrayed one of their own, a rival gang leader named Viper Kane, and framed Jax for the murder to protect themselves. Jax had gone into hiding, haunted by guilt, believing he was responsible for a man's death. Now Viper's son was back, leading his own gang and hunting for revenge. And when he heard that Jax's son had resurfaced, he saw his chance to finish what his father had started. By the next morning, Noah woke up to chaos. The Serpent's garage was on fire, bikes were destroyed, men were shouting, and Jax was gone. A blood-stained note lay on the ground: trade the boy, or burn with him. The storm of blood and truth. Noah didn't run. Not this time. He grabbed his father's jacket, zipped it up, and rode one of the surviving bikes into the storm. He had never ridden before, but something about the engine's growl, the speed, the fear, it all felt like destiny pulling him forward. He followed the trail to an abandoned mill on the outskirts of town. Viper's gang was waiting, headlights cutting through the dark, engines idling low. Jax was tied to a post, blood dripping from his face. Viper's son, a man covered in ink and rage, stood before him with a pistol. "You took my father from me," Viper snarled. "Now I'll take yours from you." Noah stepped into the light. "If you want revenge," he shouted, "take me. Leave him." The gang turned, stunned. Jax's eyes went wide. "Noah, don't!" But Noah didn't stop. He walked forward slowly, rain soaking his hair, face pale but steady. "You said I don't know what I'm walking into. Well, now I do. You were broken, Jax. But I'm not here to hate you. I'm here to end this." There was something in his eyes, that fire, that unshakable will, that made even the killers hesitate. Viper laughed bitterly. "You got guts, kid. But guts don't stop bullets." And then a gunshot echoed through the night. But it wasn't Noah who fell, it was Viper. Jax had broken free, taking the bullet meant for his son, before firing back with the last ounce of his strength. When the chaos ended, the rain began again, and this time it washed away more than blood. It washed away years of hate. Redemption. Jax lay in Noah's arms, breathing shallowly. The rain hit his face, but his eyes never left Noah's. "I never wanted this life for you," he whispered. "I was a coward running from my sins. But you walked right into them and showed me what real courage looks like." Noah's tears mixed with the rain. "I just wanted to know my father." Jax smiled weakly. "You found him, and you made him proud." Those were his last words before his eyes closed, and the storm finally broke. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Universe. Your support helps us bring more stories of hope, courage, and redemption to life. The light after the storm. Months later, Noah rebuilt what was left of the Serpent's garage. But it wasn't a gang anymore. It was a shelter for lost kids, runaways, and broken souls looking for a second chance. He renamed it the Haven. On the wall hung that same leather jacket, framed behind glass, not as a reminder of pain, but as a symbol of forgiveness. Sometimes he would sit outside, watching the sun set over the highway, feeling the wind in his hair and his father's spirit somewhere in it, wild, free, and finally at peace. Because the boy who came searching for a name found something greater. He found purpose. And the world would remember him not as the lost boy who faced a biker gang, but as the young man who turned pain into power and blood into forgiveness.